Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser Podcast, episode 126. I'm your host, as always, Richard. Always check the barrel, Yule.
And I'm Jeff Lown.
And, Jeff, tonight we are talking about surviving the game.
Yeah, we are.
From 1994, starring Ice-T, Rutger Hauer, Gary Busey, a very haired John C. McGinley.
Yeah.
This was a staple of mine, man, at the video store. I rented this a couple of times. I loved it. And we've never really talked about it, but, we start off with New Line Cinema. I just love, like, some of those things. I don't know what you call them, like the film things. They just bring, like, it's like seeing Canon at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and like TriStar with the horse. And just some of those things for the production companies, just, I don't know, they give me this warm fuzzy feeling.
New Line does. Every time we watch a New Line, you make sure to bring it up.
I love it. New Line is the one, because they did all my favorite. Like, they did a bunch of horror movies, they did a bunch of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. So, like, that's my teenage years, man. I still remember, like, the TriStar one, the one with the horse and it flies away or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was Look Who's Talking 2 or Look Who's Talking Now. And I don't know if it's still this way, but I think I saw it in a theater or something. But, like, it's talking.
Uh-huh.
Like, it talks. It's like, here we go. We're going to fly now. Here we go. And I don't know if I just made that up, but
that's great if you did.
All right. So we'll probably do some spoilers on this, just because it's a 30-year-old movie, Jeff. 30 years old.
Yeah, it certainly is.
That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy we're hitting a bunch of these movies from, like, my teen years, and they're getting like 30 years old. Yeah. We're going to be doing another one from New Line Cinema in a few weeks, which we can talk about later. But I wanted to get that out of the way, so we'll do some light spoilers, talk about the movie, and just give our overall opinions of it. I'm feeling much better this week. Last week, it was probably a shit episode, so I apologize, because I was fading fast through that episode. That was a tough one. But I do feel better, so that's good.
Good.
This sickness bullshit, man. All right, so we are...
Disturbed made it sound way cool.
I know, he made it sound cool, but it's not.
No.
Well, it's especially not when you still have to work.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I didn't have a sick day or anything.
See, I just don't go to work. I had some vacation time, and it's been just so wonderful not being
Yeah, we're going on a week vacation next month, and I can't wait.
Wow, must be nice.
I guess I should have worked that out with you, since we need to do a podcast for them.
Yeah, we got time.
But in February, I'm gone for like 8 days. So
there you go.
We're going to California.
Disneyland?
No, we're probably not going to go to Disneyland. We are thinking about going to see Universal.
Yeah, at least.
But we're going we're going to California to go on a cruise. So for the most part, I know we love them.
Buy a yacht. Just travel around the world. Buy a yacht. You don't even have to pay for it.
It's cheaper to do the flea market of cruise lines, Carnival. All right, so last week I probably sounded like uneducated swine, because who knew that this was based on something? But I did some research, because I wanted to break protocol here on the show. And Jeff, you were right. It is based on The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh, okay.
It's a short story from 1924 by Richard Connell.
Okay.
Now,
did they make that a movie, or was there like an adaptation?
Oh no, so I'm going to go through this. We're
Okay,
going to take a little bit of time here.
I'll let you do it.
So in film wise, the first one we had was in 1932. It was The Most Dangerous Game. So
Okay.
taking from title.
Hmm.
It was produced by RKO Pictures, first major film adaptation of the original work. So then in 1945, we get A Game of Death.
Okay, I think that might be the one I've seen.
Yeah, it's a Nazi. It's like he's a Nazi and is set in the aftermath of World War II.
Okay.
Run for the Sun in 1956.
Hmm.
Not much about that one. Bloodlust in 1961, and this is the leader of a band of youths who become stranded on an island.
Isn't that that one book?
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Does sound the same.
Yeah. So real quick, not that it matters whatsoever, but I've seen The Most Dangerous Game from 1932. I didn't
Look at
see the
you.
other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 1968, we get Confessions of a Psycho Cat.
Okay.
It's an early sexploitation film taking place in New York City. Zaroff is replaced with a woman known as Virginia Marcus, who offers 3 acquitted murderers $100,000 if they can survive a night of her hunting them down. It takes little from the story apart from the concept of hunting humans for sport.
Interesting. So they've made a lot of these.
Wait. We're still going. 1972, we get The Suckers, a sexploitation version with the hunter using models as his prey.
Okay.
In 1972, we get The Woman Hunt. It stars John Ashley and Sid Haig.
Okay.
Turkey Shoot. I didn't know that was part of this. Yeah. In 1982, originally released in U.S. as Escape 2000 and also known in the U.K. as Blood Camp Thatcher, set in a country under a totalitarian rule. People labeled as deviants are sent to internment camps. As at these establishments, the director allows the country's social elite to use the deviants as game for their recreational hunting hobbies.
You said deviants, and I was like, it sounds like Pueblo.
Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity.
Okay, seen that one.
1987, a sci-fi sexploitation where scantily clad women are hunted on an alien world by a mad scientist.
That one's good. I watched that one on Tubi.
Yeah.
Ken Dixon directed it, but I believe it was a full moon, right?
I don't know. Probably. I was thinking Roger Corman, so I mean, it sounds right. Deadly Prey is 1987.
Yeah.
That's a former soldier is kidnapped by mercenaries who train by hunting innocent people, which that sounds more like what we're dealing with surviving the game. In 1993, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Hard Target by John Woo.
Yeah, a classic. That's amazing that there's that many iterations, and to watch the evolution of all those.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts to me.
Yeah. 1994, obviously, is Surviving the Game. So we'll go on about that. But it doesn't stop there.
No.
We get in 1997 a comedic parody starring John Leguizamo.
The Pest?
You know the movie, The Pest.
Saw that in theaters.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Were you by yourself?
Maybe me and like my mom or my dad, whoever took me. But yeah, I remember going to that one for sure. Pretty wild that's an offshoot of these films.
In 2004, we get The Eliminator. 7 captured people are hunted at night for sport on an island as a betting game for the wealthy. In 2017, Never Leave Alive. Starring WWE wrestler
Stone.
John Hennigan,
Oh, okay.
also known as Johnny Nitro, Johnny TV, Johnny Impact, Johnny Wrestling. This is one of my wife's favorite movies in 2019, Ready or Not.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean it spins it a little bit, and it's not so much a wealthy kind of thing. Well, I guess it is, but not really.
I'm guessing there's one more on the list.
There's actually 4.
The Hunt has to be on there.
So The Hunt is next. That's a contemporary retelling involving liberal elites hunting deplorables in and around a manor in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020,
that one had some controversy around it because do you remember Trump or whoever? I think it was Trump banned it.
Oh, really?
It was pushed like 2 months. I don't even how could he? I mean, I get he was the president, but like it's like how would he just decide like no, that movie's not going to play? I don't think that's how it works because it came out.
Yeah,
but
I remember it. I just never saw it. All right, here's a kind of weird one, which I've never seen, but it always did. I always did kind of want to see it. From 2020, Tremors, Shrieker Island.
I've seen that one too. I've seen all those.
So it's where Bert and is Jamie Kennedy in that one, or did he already leave?
Is that 6, 5, or 6 or 7?
Dude, fuck. There's like 9 of these.
I know he comes back, so I'm guessing it's one of the ones where he came back.
So Bert and several other unlucky people are trapped on an island with a trophy hunter who hunts graboids for sport.
Yep.
2021, we get Apex.
Don't know that one.
Don't know that one. An ex-cop serving a life sentence for a crime he didn't commit is offered a chance at freedom if he can survive a deadly game in which a group of hunters pay for the pleasure of hunting another human on a remote island. And then we have 2 more.
It never ends.
Well, in 2022, there was a remake of The Most Dangerous Game, which is a remake of the 1932 film. And then we get a Canadian film variation called Death Hunt, as a couple is captured and hunted in the woods by 3 local men. So, not all these are the exact same story, but they're all taking the idea of humans hunting humans for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Most of it being money. In the original story, I'm going to guess that it was money. But yeah. And then there's a bunch of radio things and even some television things.
Oh, wow.
Some episodes of TV. Was inspired by it and stuff like that.
I mean, it's an easy concept, and you could always pit like a good against evil and have a character that could like redeem their arc within the story pretty easily. So I could see how they are able to just pump the same kind of thing out over and over and over again. And people say Hollywood's unoriginal.
So here's the one we need to watch and review. Okay. It's probably on Disney Plus. It's an episode of the animated Mighty Ducks.
Really?
Called The Most Dangerous Duck Hunt.
Oh my God.
And the heroes are trapped on an island and hunted. Do you remember the Mighty Duck TV show, the cartoon?
Nope.
Where they're actually ducks.
Really?
Yeah, they're ducks.
I was unaware. I'm not surprised that you know, though.
I mean, I pretty much know everything. Futurama did it looks like.
Yeah.
Riverdale, it looks like, did something. The Kids Next Door. So, lots of different things. And there's even, other adaptations in comic books. And apparently the Kraven the Hunter from Spider-Man was inspired by Zaroff, who I guess is the original, lead guy.
Yeah. Nice.
All right.
We don't usually do
that. You can fucking learn something from this show. I love Hard Target. I still like.
Oh, it's so good. My favorite is that dirt bike scene.
Yeah.
He just stands up on it and cruises it and
dude, I know this is a fucking horror podcast, but that Expendables 4, I'm not kidding. I don't know how that movie got made.
It was that bad, huh?
I mean, I can't imagine it being as bad as it was. Like, there's no, I mean, especially when you compare it to like at least the last two movies, it's completely disjointed from that. It's really bad. I mean, there's no sense of camaraderie amongst the team. There's 50 Cent is actually pretty good in it. I did like him.
Is it all the
But
same cast though?
no, like Dolph Lundgren's back and Randy Couture.
Yeah.
And then you get Jason Statham and Sylvester Stallone. And I think that's it. I mean, Wesley Snipes doesn't come back.
Weird.
And they don't mention it. And then they try to do all this backstory with the Expendables, and it's like none of it fucking matters. And there's so many things happening in this movie that you just get bored. And like for no reason, at one point at the end, there's a nuclear bomb that will destroy the world and cause World War III. And it's like that is such a trope where it's just there's nothing original in this movie. There's a twist that's just stupid that you don't even care about. Andy Garcia is not Andy Garcia. He is in this movie, but the fucking Antonio Banderas character. You remember him?
I kind of.
In the third one, he was like the annoying one that wanted to be part of a team, but he talks so damn much, and he eventually did join the team.
Yeah.
But they didn't want him for a long time, and he was annoying, and he was kind of he's not in this movie, but his son is.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, I mean, his on-screen son.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's just it doesn't work. But that's fine.
All right, there you have it.
All right, so we're going to talk about Surviving the Game from 1994, and I'm looking because I didn't notice one of the people in this movie. I know I should have done fucking research.
No, you did.
Maybe I mean I did enough. My brain hurts. I don't know if he was in it, but I swore that the guy, skipping ahead a bit, the guy who has the son in this movie, I swear that was the guy from Jumanji, but I don't think it was.
F. Murray Abraham? Is that?
Yeah.
That's his name, I think.
Yeah, is that the dad from Jumanji?
I'll tell you right now.
I'm looking. I don't think it is.
He was in 13 Ghosts. He was in 13 Ghosts. Was he the dad or the
main bad guy?
He was the bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, so the guys. Let's talk about the cast here first off.
Okay, go ahead.
No, and Jonathan Hyde is the guy, his doppelganger that looks just like
don't they look alike though?
Yeah, they look identical. Okay. The cast of this movie for the villains is perfect.
It really is.
It's so perfect. Like Gary Busey telling all his like crazy stories about like
I mean, there is this like 10-minute scene of him talking about how he got this scar, and I guarantee you it was all improv.
Oh, it had to have been. I mean, just let him talk. What about buttered sausages? But yeah, no, like that whole dinner scene is so good. Like it's good, good scene. And no, he's great. The F. Murray he's always usually typecast as like a bad guy, and he delivers on it again. The dude from Scrubs, what's his name?
John C. McGinley.
Yeah, he's a good like jerk. He's always a good jerk.
Oh yeah. No, he's perfect for this.
And out of all the people to have a turn and like try to redeem themselves in kind of like a story way in this, I did not expect. I mean, I've seen it before, but I didn't remember everything. So I didn't remember him, having that turn where he's like, yeah, I'm just going home.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't either. I didn't remember a lot of this movie actually. It's a little more deep than I thought it was. But you kind of left out Charles S. Dutton, who is kind of out of nowhere. Like he's a bad guy, but like it's Charles S. Dutton. So you think that like, you couldn't hate him, but I mean, he's actually pretty hateable in this movie.
He's the reason he's here. He saved him from getting hit by a truck, and
yeah.
I
So
mean,
let's talk a little bit about the story. I mean, Rutger Hauer is the main bad guy in this. So I mean, what's there to say? You know, so basically, the story is Ice Cube has this dog and this old white guy as a friend. They both die. He buries them both.
Yeah, just in like a dirt alley behind a building.
Yeah, no rhyme or reason. He basically wants to kill himself, so he walks. He's walking out in front of this car, semi truck.
Yeah.
And Charles S. Dutton saves the day. Now they had already met a little bit because Charles S. Dutton had been watching him, right?
Yeah, he's recruiting.
Yeah, he's basically recruiting somebody for the game in the woods. So we get some cool setup with him watching Ice-T, because there's a couple of things where he has to fight and stuff, and he holds his own, and then he works at the local food kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah.
So eventually he's watching him, and he watches him try to kill himself, so he saves him from that and offers him a job, and says it's remote, and he'll make a lot of money, and to call this guy. And so he eventually goes to see Rutger Hauer.
Right. And Rutger Hauer just owns like an abandoned warehouse that has like one office in it.
So weird.
And a treadmill. He's like, hey, is that one of those like running, walking things? He's like,
I know.
He's like, here, let me show you. He's like, yeah, okay, stay on it for 30 minutes. I'll give you $20. He's like, I'll run all the way to Alaska.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. And then he does it for 20. He does it for 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, he does the 30 minutes, and he runs, and he's like, here's your $20. And then he's like, how will I get a hold of you? And he's like, the best hotel in California or something. He hands him that matchbook.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of little like dialogue and stuff like that that's really, really good in this movie too, that I think. But yeah, I like that part. This is actually like a really good movie. So I like, if people were like, oh, it's not very good, or what's the horror element, or why are you guys covering it? I mean, hunting a person, how could you not say there's a horror element to that? Like, what?
Yeah, and I mean, we've done stuff on this podcast as far as like Ninja 3. Of course, there is an exorcism in that movie, so we can justify it that way.
Poured all over.
But also what?
Where she pours the V8 juice all over.
Oh, fuck. Shit. So 2024 might bring more stuff like this. So if you don't like it, you can email us at nerdylaser@gmail.com. But we'll always stay a little grungy and grimy, but this was a movie that I kind of wanted to watch again, and just thought it'd be good for the show. And Jeff's right, like, it's humans hunting humans, so that's horror enough for me.
Yeah, and I mean, the story that Gary Busey tells is a whole horror story, essentially. That the son of F. Murray Abraham, like, that's a horror story for him, like being dragged into this thing that you don't want anything to do with because he wants you to become a man.
Yeah, so that's what I like about it, is there's the characters in this, they're not all the same. Like, they're not all like, we're going to kill you, which I think is the way it is in Hard Target,
Yeah.
There's a little bit more depth to the characters in this. Like you said, we got the son that doesn't want to kill. We got John C. McGinley, who basically halfway through the game is like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore, and then gets killed.
Yeah.
So it's just not it's just not it's just not cookie cutter bad guys,
Right. No, they're all like unique in their own way, and that's what makes them good. And their interactions with each other are good. But I mean, for me, my favorite part is obviously that dinner scene. Like, just you kind of get a showcase of each character, and all that stuff. You kind of learn a little bit of Ice-T's like backstory about how he doesn't tell the whole thing, but he just says like his wife and kid died because of him. Essentially, he does tell McGinley, I think, right, when they're in the cave, like what happened, and that kind of humanizes him. So that's kind of what makes McGinley kind of switch his perspective, like his why he's viewing it the way he is, and he's just like, I'm out of here. But I don't know, it's the whole psychology thing or neuroscientist or whatever Gary Busey's supposed to be. I think that's interesting. Their professions are all interesting, so you could see they're all coming from like places of power, positions of money, stuff like that, and that's why they're able to do this and just get away with it. But no, it's good, and like Ice-T's really good in it too. So I could see why
he's so good.
I could see why he's been able to stick around for like 57 seasons of that
Law and Order.
Yeah, of Law and Order.
Yeah, no, he's really good in this movie.
Was he in really good? Crazy Six?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
I feel like he was. I'm gonna look that up while we talk. But you know who I would be curious to see?
In the woods being hunted by wealthy men.
Being hunted by a wealthy man. It's Jason down at the dungeon.
Oh gosh, I can't wait to tell him that. So since we've put on a couple of episodes on YouTube, he has seen our commercials. So.
Okay.
He's too good to listen to the podcast, but since they're on YouTube, he can do that between his amusement park roller coaster videos. So Jason down at the dungeon is our good friend who runs the dungeon at Southland. You can find him on Instagram at Southland_dungeon. That's Southland_dungeon. And you can see all the stuff that he brings to the table in physical media, especially because it's things like vinyl records, cassette tapes, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, HD DVDs.
Because everybody loves those. Laser discs.
As I die. Good Lord.
Just like HD DVD.
Just like it. And that COVID come along and took me out.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how many people remember. Like, I know like me, you, and Jason and people like that remember HD and DVD. But if you ask, like if I asked my wife, would she have any clue what that was?
I had a friend that said HD DVD actually had a better picture, but didn't get promoted as well, and that's why it got buried. That's the same reason why VHS beat Betamax or whatever.
Yeah. 100%. I have no backing on this at all. I have nothing to prove this. But you know why I think it died?
Why?
The name was stupid.
That is a stupid name.
Yeah, I mean, what's sexier, HD DVD or Blu-ray?
Yeah, with the blue case.
Yeah, I mean, they had a gimmick, and it worked. I mean, fuck. The same thing with VHS. Do you want VHS or Betamax?
Yeah, and I think if I remember right, the one reason those took off was because porn.
What, VHS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the big driver behind it.
Behind it. Okay. Jason does have some anime porn if you give him that special link. He also has some tarot cards.
Oh.
And he was talking to me today about like how much he loved it. He said, I love that you guys are promoting that. It's really good for the store. So he loves doing readings. So anytime you go to the dungeon, ask for your special of the day tarot card reading. But Jason's a good guy. The store is amazing, and he just got in a whole bunch of new stuff coming up for the holiday season. Jeffrey, he got a steel book of My Bloody Valentine.
Oh yeah,
he got a few copies of Valentine in. What else? My Demon Lover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one I saw that I almost was going to tell you to go pick up for me.
Yeah,
that's one of Vampire Mike's favorite movies.
My Demon Lover.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I mean, I know I haven't seen it. So I did start watching My Best Friend is a Vampire. Or is that the name of that?
The Vestron one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an hour left, but
good luck. It drags a little, but it's not too bad, and it reminds me of Fright Night, kind of.
Yeah, the half hour that I've watched is okay.
It's kind of fun.
But but I don't expect much from it.
For $12 from Vestron, it's worth it.
And I
And
got
have
it at
a digital
Walmart.
code. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the digital code with it, and that's how I'm watching it on my phone. So anyway, check out the dungeon at Southland. You can go to Instagram, Southland_dungeon. You can go to the website, southlandbooksandcafe.com. You can also go to the physical store right here in Maryville, Tennessee. If you go to East Broadway, hit the roundabout, and you will see Southland Books. Drive around the back of the building, and voila, the dungeon is there.
Yeah.
So check it out. I'm down there a lot, and I love it. And he is starting to get more stuff in, so I'm very happy to see that. With Grindhouse Video closing its Knoxville doors,
Jason's plan.
we still need physical media stores, so
Oh.
it's cool.
One last thing before we go back to the film and stop promoting Jason. He got some amiibos in.
Oh, he did. I did see them laying on the counter, but I didn't ask him about them.
Yeah.
I think they were all Animal Crossings.
I think so.
Yeah.
Somehow that's a game that I'm not good at, which is a game that you don't have to have any skill to play. And I'm just so bad at it.
And you stuck.
I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with this game. Like, I would always get stuck trying to catch bugs or going fishing.
I asked my niece if I would like that game, and she said no. So
she's right.
Probably. It sounds like a fun, like chilling game, but I would get bored too.
The most recent one that came out, like when COVID was real bad, I think that would have been like the time to do it, where you had a little bit of downtime and you could kind of, well, you didn't, but everybody else had a little bit of
you.
I mean, I worked.
I didn't have
the
nothing.
whole thing too, but yeah, no. Jason down at the dungeon.
Yeah, man, the Switch during COVID, woof.
I couldn't get
it
one.
Made. Oh yeah, nobody could. I mean, I was thinking about selling mine for $400, like they were going for.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
the dumb thing was I had one and sold it like just before like COVID, and then I was like, dang, now I want to play my Switch. So
I'm playing Mario Wonder. It's good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kind of jealous you got that. But I'm an adult. I guess I could just go buy it.
No, you can't buy anything this year. Remember, Jeff?
That's right.
I mean, you'd rather buy some sexploitation movie.
Yeah.
Than Mario Wonder.
Movies, this isn't an ad or anything, but the Vinegar Syndrome sale that's going on right now, Subscriber Week, at the time of this recording, they did put one.
I didn't look today. I didn't look yesterday. Damn it.
It was box sets yesterday. Today it's standards and some slipcover editions. But I did want to mention a movie called Little Darlings that they put out, or that they're putting out. Mm-hmm. It's under a new sub-label, I think. One of theirs, Cinem. I don't know. They have so many sub-labels at this point; it's hard to keep track. But
yeah,
it's a very weird, like coming of age movie. And I rented it from the library. Actually, that's how I watched it initially on one of the library apps. And it's a good movie. I'm curious to see what they did with it. I'm pretty sure that Justin the Liberty guy that does the Vinegar Syndrome stuff was a big advocate for it. So he usually has fairly good taste. So, that's one I kind of do want. And then the Italian Giallo box set had one movie that I really, Bloodstained Shadow, I think it is. That I've always been.
Yeah, but that box set ain't going to go nowhere, and it'll be on sale eventually.
Yeah, no, I know.
I still want that Nasty Habits one from Severn.
Which one's that?
The Nasty Habits? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have that. It's a good box.
I know. Well, fuck. I mean, you had it day one, fucking Nuns.
I love Nuns.
I know.
Interesting.
All right. So yeah, I mean, the gist of this movie is basically what we've been saying, but they fly him out to this in the middle of nowhere, like literally in the middle of nowhere. There's this cabin. We get him hanging out, eating this pig, having fun at this awesome dinner scene that Jeff loves so much. And then the next day they wake him up and they're like, "Fucking run, dude!" And they give him a head start as long as it takes them to eat breakfast,
A leisurely breakfast.
a leisurely breakfast, as Rutger Hauer stated, and yeah, then it's just basically the things that we've talked about. We don't necessarily do breakdowns of the movies anymore, but I mean, I love this movie. I think the end is interesting. Do we want to just talk about the end because it's so good?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. I mean,
So if you don't want to hear the end of this movie, skip ahead like a minute or two. But I actually love the ending of this movie because the bad guy gets away.
yeah,
So the bad guy gets away and blows up Ice-T, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, he blows up a plane.
And yeah, blows up a plane that he was standing at. And the dude flies away and is going to live happily ever after. And then cuts through, like, does it say 3 months later?
3 days later, I think it
Oh,
was.
3 days later? Okay.
Which I have questions there, but let's go ahead.
It's fine. It's probably best not to question a New Line Cinema movie that stars Ice-T. But yeah, so basically we get Rutger Hauer. He's walking down this alleyway. And
let's talk about that disguise. He becomes like a Roman Catholic priest and has like a Fu Manchu.
Yeah, I don't know. He has a hat. Yeah.
And
I don't understand it.
We think it's going to be Ice-T doing a jump scare, and it's a little old lady. And she's like, "Father, what time is it?" And he's like, "Get out of here!"
It is kind of weird. I didn't like that part. I really think they should have just had him in an alley. Like they should have just made it up. Like,
I feel like that had to have been added for like a reshoot or something. They're just like, I don't like that ending. Let's do something else.
Yeah, something weird happened there. But anyway, we get the confrontation between him and Ice-T eventually, and Ice-T chooses not to kill him.
Yeah.
And drops the gun. Does he drop the gun or give it to him?
Yeah, he takes the magazine out of it and then he like clears the chamber or whatever. And it goes back to the line he says basically at the beginning of the movie to his homeless like Vietnam friend. And it was your
yeah.
It was your nickname this episode. Always check the chamber.
Always check the barrel.
Always check the barrel.
Yeah, because the homeless guy, he looked in a gun and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You always got to check the barrel for garbage or it'll blow up."
Yeah.
In your hand. And so as Ice-T's walking away, it's like this weird voiceover. It's not very good. But he's like, "Remember one thing, always check the barrel." And the guy fires it at Ice-T and it blows up.
Yeah, because he takes the one bullet that was chambered like out and throws it on the floor and then he like loads up the barrel, I guess, and throws the gun on the floor. But then, Rutger Hauer is like, "Oh, what a dumb guy. He didn't kill me. I'm going to go pick it up." So he picks it up. That's when the voiceover happens. He shoots. And then it's like a huge like explosion. It's when he shoots the gun.
It is very large. I don't know that it would be that large. It looks like Surviving the Game at the box office debuted at number 6 and grossed $7.7 million in the U.S. This is back in '94, so I think its budget was $7 million.
I think that's right, yeah.
Which is crazy for the amount of people.
Yeah.
But I guess they were less like, "You're just going to be out in the woods for 3 days. You want to come?" And they're like, "Sure." So yeah, I dig the movie a lot. I still like it. I love the always check the barrel thing. I think we didn't talk about Charles S. Dutton though. His legs get blown off.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember he gets on the ATV and it blows up and he's laying there?
Yeah.
He's laying there and they just dug 2 holes and stuck his legs down in it.
Very,
And then they put all the makeup on his knees.
very Sharknado-esque.
I
With
mean,
our,
very
with our buddy
Sharknado-esque.
that we talked
Yeah,
to.
with Ryan Buds. Yeah. That's funny, man. Yeah, that cracked me up. I saw that because, like, I get it. I'm all about saving some money, but it was just funnier now.
Yeah. Should
That was the
email that
solution.
to email that to Ryan and be like, "This you?"
Ryan only had one leg, I think.
That's true, but he was
I think
probably
he
on
only
more
had.
posters. So.
Oh yeah, that's true for sure. Yeah. What are you gonna give this movie?
I give this one a 4, almost a 4.5. Honestly,
Oh,
I'm pretty high on this one.
4. Yeah,
The
4 out of
casting,
5.
the casting for me is just like as perfect of a casting as you could get for a movie.
It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, I loved it.
And
I give it a 3.5, but I think it's a high 3.5, you know. I think it's a fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And before we finish, Crazy Six is a movie. I knew I was right. It stars Rob Lowe, Billy, aka Crazy Six. It's got Burt Reynolds, Mario Van Peebles, Ice-T, Tom Matthews is in it.
What the fuck
Yeah, right
movie
behind
is this?
It's Crazy Six. It's only okay. So it must not be good because it has a 2.7 out of 10 on IMDb. And here's the synopsis for it. It just says, in a crumbling Europe, powerful mafia families have emerged from the anarchy to vie for control of the lucrative arms trade.
How old is it?
97.
We need to see this movie.
I think MVD had put it out on Blue at one point.
Mm.
And the only reason I even remembered that it was even a thing is because I remember those retro covers that MVD does. The slips.
Yeah. No, those are cool. Cool, man. I mean, I think it's a great movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should. And it's cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do we have coming up next week, Jeffrey?
So next week I was gonna pick, but like usual, I didn't have anything, and then you said Deadly Friend from 1986 from Wes Craven, starring Matthew Laborto.
Literally, because I looked to the left and I thought, oh, Deadly Friend.
And Christy Swanson.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's got probably one scene that everybody always talks about, but I think there's more to it than just the one scene. So I'm curious to what you'll think about this one.
And it just got released in a big way, didn't it?
Yeah, it got a Blu-ray. I don't know the exact date, but it was fairly recent because then I sent you my DVD, right?
Mm-hmm. That's how I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. It was in some weird ass box set with the hand.
That's
someone's
cool.
watching
Get
me.
that and show. I mean, for the people that are watching on YouTube,
on our YouTube at Night of the Nerdy Laser.
Yeah. For those people, it's a cool box set because I think there's 5 or 6 movies. Twisted Tales or something like Twisted Terror.
From WB Twisted Terror Collection.
Yeah, and so there's 6 in there. The Hand.
There's 6. We got The Hand from filmmaker Oliver Stone.
Right.
Dr. Giggles, the cult fave. Someone's Watching Me. The Long Lost Chiller by Halloween's John Carpenter.
Yeah.
From Beyond the Grave with Peter Cushing.
That one I feel like they just needed something to fill in some space, so they tossed it in.
Deadly Friend with trend-setting filmmaker Wes Craven. Eyes of a Stranger, first credited film role of Jennifer Jason Leigh from A Single White Female and Dolores Claiborne. Yeah,
it's a good box set. Yeah, but
yeah, it's cool, man.
Broken case on Deadly Friend.
It has a broken case?
Yeah, it's smashed.
Fuck you. You sent me some bullshit. My God.
You could thank Amazon for that.
Oh, I thank Amazon for everything. All right, what's up after? So this is, we should say, we don't have a time for scheduling yet, but if all goes well, the following week we will be doing Wes Craven's New Nightmare that is turning 30, also film released in 1994. And we are hoping to have our good friend Matt Henry from the first, well, from the first year or so of the show.
Previous iterations of the shows you've been on.
Yeah. So yeah, can't wait to have him back on, and I know he's excited. I asked him, and he said absolutely. So we're gonna go with New Nightmare. It's a different kind of movie, different kind of Freddy, and once again, it's Wes Craven just changing the game. Not giving us the same bullshit that everyone else gives us.
Yeah, that's true. And then we haven't picked out 129 yet, and then we're on to 130, which would be one of our 10 episodes. So we got something kind of planned, right?
I think so. I haven't reached out yet, but yes, for 130, we might have an update next week. I'll try to plan that and get that going.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll be doing something else. FrankenCon is a horror convention that myself, Matt, and Corey from Spooky Dudes put on here in Alcoa, Tennessee, right outside of Knoxville. You can go to frankencontn.com for more information. We have a Scream Queen reunion with Brink Stevens, Michelle Bauer, and Linnea Quigley. We have a Thanksgiving reunion with John Carver himself, Alex Armbruster, Gabriel Davenport, and Karen Cliche. And then we have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre reunion with William Vale. And I'll go ahead and give some spoilers. We will have Alan Danziger and John Dugan as well. Oh, cool. So FrankenCon is setting up to be really cool. And the cool thing about it is we're going to do On the Road to FrankenCon here on Night of the Nerdy Laser. So, the month and a half before, probably starting in April, we'll say April, we're going to pick movies that are from the people that are at the show and review them here on the show and talk about them. So it's FrankenCon is May 10th and 11th. You can find us at frankencontn.com and then FrankenConTN everything, all the social media and all that. So check us out and support us, and we would be greatly appreciative for that. Yep. You can check Night of Nerdy Laser out on Instagram and Facebook, Night of the Nerdy Laser.
Yeah. And then, you could, obviously you're listening to this if you're hearing us right now, but if not, you could somehow tell your friends they could listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, any of the podcatchers out there. And if you guys want to go out and take like 2 minutes out of your day and, not spend a single dollar and support us still, all you got to do is give us a rating and a review, and it helps us. We've been in a drought, I guess you would say, for ratings and reviews. But, it'd be nice to get it. It shows us that there are people listening and, that we're doing it and we have a good time with it. And we hope we're putting out a product that you guys enjoy as well. So.
Yeah, also remember to subscribe to YouTube and subscribe to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. When you subscribe to things, it tells the platform that you like us. So
yeah,
that helps us a lot as well. And you got anything else, Jeffrey?
No, I don't have anything else.
Well, then tell them what to do.
All right, I'll tell them. They need to keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to always check the barrel.